You have less than 6 days to comply to the new electronic invoice system, lest you risk forfeiting any justified refund on business expenditures until you conform. According to Hakamba Wangwe, the Etims chief manager, so far 186,566 businesses and individuals have transitioned to the platform against an ambitious goal of 915,000. This comes a mere 5 days to the final deadline, with a mere 25% compliance rate. The registration process will continue even after the deadline, especially for new businesses where the tax collector still insists on a self-declaration to widen the tax scope. And of course, let's take a look at that.
Like this last year, only around 67,000 businesses had been onboarded onto the new tax system against 113,239 active taxpayers. A dismal number considering the praises heaped onto the new system by the Kenya Revenue Authority. The number has more than doubled this year to 186,566 registrations. Despite this improvement, the government has been keen on self-sufficiency through increased collection efforts that led the Kenya Revenue Authority to set an ambitious goal of 950,000 individuals and business entities to be onboarded on the Etims platform, merely 5 days to the deadline.
Now, administratively, we allowed people to complete the process of acquiring or onboarding into Etims, and that extension or that grace period is now what is expiring on the 31st of March.
Yes, they can onboard on 1st, they can onboard in June, but the thing with it is anyone they are doing transactions with might not be able to use that invoices for purposes of claiming expenditure in either income tax return or VAT return.
This means that more than 700,000 businesses might find themselves out of the compliance bracket by the end of the week, a move that would debilitate operations due to a lack of compliance. Etims chief manager Hakamba Wangwe says, though, the registration system will remain open to businesses.
What we'd like to urge taxpayers is to onboard. Yes, we have 6 days. Please onboard within these 6 days. It doesn't take very long. And then in addition to onboarding, we also are looking forward to transmission compliance, so that once you onboard, then you use the solutions in the way that they have been designed to be used. And for taxpayers who might come in after due date, it's not that the system will lock them out. We are not locking out anyone. The only thing is that these taxpayers need to know that they are late in adopting the solution that is coming on board.
And in terms of the target we were working with is to onboard a total of 915,000 taxpayers. And we still hoping that people will be able to actually beat the deadline to be able to onboard.
This as the authority maintains the informal service industry will continue operating on a self-declaration basis, a move that has been faulted for the gaps presented in tax collection, leaving out a crucial margin of potential taxpayers.
And even after the deadline, people are still allowed to continue to onboard. It's not like it will be a cut-off system where you'll not be able to onboard after the 31st. The only challenge you'll have is transacting business after the 31st of March, because the people you're dealing with or the people you're transacting with will require you to actually issue compliant invoices, because the grace period that had been allowed by KRA.
Hibak Said for TV 47.